Welcome all the participants and all the third year medical students. Today we will be presenting, this is a clinical posting in the subspecialty of family medicine. Today, since it's the first presentation, so we will be discussing the introduction to family medicine and the introduction to the family physicians, which are the holistic care providers and the gatekeepers of medicine. So let's begin. So the objectives of today's presentation are, primarily we will be discussing to understand what is family medicine, its definition and concept, to know the evolution of family medicine, to know the major barriers to equitable healthcare, followed by the deed of family medicine, to narrate the principles of family medicine and scope of family medicine, which is a practicing model, and to know the functioning of family medicine in different regions along with the situation. So we'll be basically discussing the generalized and the core concept of family medicine and how the family medicine and how the system functions in Pakistan. So the contextual part of it. Okay, so family medicine is a specialty which is practiced at a lot of places all over the world also and in Pakistan also. However, not much people know about it at the same time. So Wonka is, as you can see, the first right-hand corner. There's a big, there is this Wonka, which is the World Organization of Family Medicine. So by world, we mean the entire world, the US, the UK, and the South Asian countries, everywhere, where how family medicine and how family medicine is practiced as a specialty. We have these two centers or family physician areas where family physicians are registered. We have this Pakistan Academy of Family Physicians, and we have this College of Family Medicine in Pakistan. So one of them is Lahore based and one of them is Karachi based. Other than that, we have APU, we have Yagat, we have Dow, we have Jaubi, where family medicine is practiced, and primary care general practitioners basically, where a trained family physicians or trained general practitioners are produced. So we have this specialized training in family medicine. Okay, so the definition of family medicine is formally family practice, also known as formally as family practice, is a medical specialty devoted to the comprehensive health care for people of all ages. And how the concept of family medicine was derived. Okay, so family medicine is a medical specialty which is the first contact of patients with their general practitioners or with their doctors. It has a lot of components. It has multiple components of it. The first of it, which comprises, is devoted to provide preventive, promotive, rehabilitative, and curative care. So the four emphasis. These are the four areas on which a family physician emphasizes. So number one is curative care. So curative care, as we all know, is the treatment part of it, right? So when there's patients and they come to us, so they get diagnosed with any problem, and then they get cured for it, or they get medicine for it, and then they get treated. So the other comes the preventive, promotive, and the rehabilitative part. So these are the certain domains which are practiced primarily by a good family physician or a trained family physician. So when we talk about preventive care, preventive meaning vaccination, preventive meaning contraception. So these are all the preventive part. When we talk about a promotive practice or a promotive domain of family medicine, we talk about their healthcare promotion, or we talk about their advocacy of their healthcare. We talk about how their healthcare can be promoted, or how the healthcare can be maintained, or how a certain person can live a certain life with a diabetic or with a long-standing hypertension or with a long-standing diabetes. How can we help them promote or continue with their daily routine? Okay, so that comes like physical activity and all the kind of counseling and stress management.
Excuse me, डॉक्टर साहब
जी
डॉक्टर साहब आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल सही नहीं आ रही है. थोड़ा सा अगर हेडफोन लगाया हुआ आपने तो वो निकाल के दोबारा लगाइएगा.
अच्छा, एक सेकंड.
हाँ, एक मिनट. चलो मैं आपसे बोले
आप क्लियर है?
नहीं डॉक्टर साहब करें आप कुछ असल में कि आप उससे ये लैपटॉप से ऑनलाइन
लैपटॉप है जी
हाँ
जी
तो
जी,
इसकी
सिस्टम पे आ जाओ।
हाँ बैटरी लगा। चले आप कंटिन्यू करें, थोड़ा मैं सुनता हूँ आपको।
अब आ रही है। एक्चुअली बैटरी लो है, लेकिन वो बैटरी का चार्ज नहीं हो पा रहा।
चार्जर लगा देना, उसमें कोई मसला नहीं है, चार्जर
अभी
लगा दें।
नहीं, उसका जो पिन है वो थोड़ा सा weak हो रहा है। अब
या आप कहीं अंदर की तरफ
सिस्टम
होंगे
पे आ
तो
जाओ।
बिल्कुल सिग्नल हो रहे हैं इसके नेट के आपके।
मैं सिस्टम पे आ जाऊँ, जो हमारा सिस्टम है ऑनलाइन, जो हमारे यहाँ पे पीसी है उस पर ट्राई कर लूँ। अच्छा, मैं यहाँ पे स्टॉप करके मैं वहां पे आ जाऊँ, अगर आप 2 मिनट मुझे दे दो।
ठीक
हेलो,
है ठीक है ठीक है।
एक मिनट।
आज को हम ही बनाएंगे। प्लीज ऑल्सो स्टार्ट।
Okay, so I'll continue from where we left. Initially, I think थोड़ा हमने कर लिया था discuss. Is formally family practice defined as family practice, which is a medical specialty devoted to comprehensive health care for people of all ages. जी, आ रही है ना आवाज?
बिल्कुल सही आ रही है मैडम।
Okay. So the concept of family medicine, as you were discussing, it was the first medical specialty of the first contact with the patient and is devoted to provide preventive, promotive, rehabilitative, and curative care. Curative care, as we all know, that when the patient comes, you have to diagnose and treat and manage accordingly. So that's the curative aspect of it. When we talk about preventive and promotive care, so preventive is contraception, preventive is vaccination, adult and childhood vaccination, and managing the preventive part of the medicine. Promotive is being a health advocate of the patient, and when we see diabetic patients, when we see hypertensive patients, there is a lot of non-pharmacological management that we have to advise them with regards to physical activity, with regards to stress management, with regards to losing weight, with regards to maintaining their cholesterol levels, and how to deal with all that. So that's a promotive, and like kind of promoting their health. So that's the promotive part of the family medicine. And the rehabilitative is a separate entity on its own, in which we are primarily dealing with palliative and rehabilitative and a palliative part of the family medicine. So with emphasis on the physical, psychological, social, and spiritual aspects of the patient and his family, which is a whole person medicine. So this is how we differentiate family medicine from an internal whole patient medicine, or we deal the entire patient rather than just or we deal the entire person rather than just a disease that he or she is coming up to with. So the scope is not limited by a system, organ, disease, entity, age, or gender for that matter. So there are certain characteristics of family medicine. So primarily when we talk about family medicine, the roots, as you can see, is the attitude, size, science, and context. So the knowledge part of it is the root. Until you don't have the knowledge of the gross knowledge or the sound knowledge of the subject, you're unable to practice that subject, full-fledgedly or properly. So the knowledge part is the main part. So the next comes the stem and the roots and the branches, like how can a domain or how can a specialty be branched out, or how can it provide the maximum benefit to the patients that we are seeing. So as we discussed previously also, it's the holistic approach, it is the person-centered care, it is the comprehensive approach, the specific problem solving skills, the community orientation, and the primary care management. So this is in a way the same that we have previously discussed. The primary care management, like diagnosing and treating a problem, it should be in the community orientation. It should ideally be located in communities, because these are the first contact physicians that you see. So provided. The specific problem solving skill, diagnosing and solving the problem. Comprehensive approach, as we said, it's a whole person care medicine, is the holistic approach. We don't diagnose a disease and treat a patient. We diagnose and treat the patient. At the same time, we treat them as a whole person and deal with the physical, psychological, and the spiritual aspect of it also. The person-centered care, as we have already discussed. So how did family medicine evolve as a specialty? So as we know, there was this early 19th century, there was this apothecary, which was a term used for medical professionals in which they used to dispense medicine to physicians, surgeons, and patients at the same time, and was at that time referred to as a general medicine or a general practitioner who used to give advice and give range of services to their patients, and which is now offered by our obstetrics and gynecologists and the surgeons and etc., and all the various fields that are now providing the similar treatments. But by the mid 19th century, this was replaced by general physicians and hospitals, and eventually it has now become more and more of subspecialized and subspecialists. So family medicine as a clinical and academic discipline. In 1969, family medicine, then known as family practice, was recognized as a distinct specialty in USA. So that was in 1969, that was when it was recognized as a distinct specialty. So why are family physicians actually needed in Pakistan? What is the need for them? So because of the increasing medical subspecialization and the decreasing availability of the high quality primary care. So what do you mean by high quality primary care? So primary medical care and a high quality primary medical care is very, very important in a country like Pakistan, because see, we have like a lot of tertiary care hospitals where we are primarily seeing basic stuff and basic diseases, which can easily be dealt if timely and regularly and appropriately managed at a primary care level. They would have lesser complications. They would end up into lesser issues, and then there'd be lesser complications in the tertiary care level. What happens is that when a patient goes to a primary care, they are not managed appropriately. They are not seen by a skilled primary care physician or a trained primary care physicians, and they are not referred appropriately. Either they are mismanaged or not referred up timely. So there are both things. Their management is also defective, because of which we are seeing a lot of antibiotic resisting. There's a lot of steroid use in the communities and stuff. So because of this, there are a lot of complications, and eventually they'll end up in a tertiary care hospital not managed appropriately. So the availability of high quality medical care is very important. And this slide subsequently explains my reason for this issue, because the government of expenditure on health is around 0.5% to 3.2% of the GDP. WHO, however, recommends 5% of the GDP allocation. Pakistan spends 80% of its meager health budget on tertiary care hospitals and tertiary care services, which is utilized by only 20% of the population. However, 20% of the primary health care is provided to 80% of the population. And that 20% of the primary health service that we're talking about is not a quality primary care service we're talking about. We're talking about quacks and just MBBS physicians that are sitting in communities and offering their services, which are not up to the mark. Also, 70% of the population is living in rural areas, and 85% of the physician and 95% of the hospital beds are situated in the urban areas of the country. So this also is a problem. So healthcare system in Pakistan involves the primary health centers and basic health centers. It involves the secondary healthcare centers, which are the tehsil headquarters and the district headquarters. Then they involve the tertiary care. And the family medicine is the bridge that can bridge the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary care. Because if the patient is seen by a trained family physician or a trained primary care practitioner at the primary health center and manage appropriately and refer timely, they can reach the secondary or the tertiary care timely. Similarly, they can share the burden of the patients who are reaching tertiary care and can easily be managed at primary care. What are the major barriers to equitable healthcare? There is a lot of economic underdevelopment. There is a lot of political instability. There is a very low level of literacy, because of which this is one of the major barriers of an equitable healthcare. There is unequal access to disease prevention and care. There is a rising cost of healthcare. There is inefficient healthcare system, and there is lack of emphasis on the generalist and the family medicine training. How to overcome these barriers? What is the most feasible answer to it? Is trained family physician the answer? Yes. Every individual should have a personal physician who is a central point for integration and continuity of all medical services to his patients. Such physician will emphasize the practice of preventive medicine. He will be aware of the many varied social, emotional, environmental factors that influence the health of this patient, and his concern will be more of the patient as a whole, and his relationship with the patient must be a continued one. A family doctor must be that physician. So the WHO has also stressed on the need for the more and more of family physicians and specific postgraduate training programs in family physician, which is the need and which is unique to the communities. Okay, so now comes the 10 C's of family medicine. So the family physician is someone, so these are the 10 C's which was derived by the Wonka and also mentioned in the Oxford Handbook of Family Medicine. So a family physician has to be caring, clinically competent, cost effective, continuity of care, comprehensive care, common problem management, coordination, continuing quality of research, continued medical education, communicating and counseling skills. So these are all the components that a good family physician must acquire in order to offer a good primary healthcare service or in order to run a GP practice. So these are the various domains where a family physician practice. As we know that a family physician the practice of a family physician can range at all ages, from a neonate to an infant to a pediatric population to adult, middle age, and then the elderly issues. Women health, aging, vaccination, immunization, empowering aging, home health services is another important component of family medicine. When home health is very effective and appropriate home health is provided to the patients. And apart from that, a good quality care on acute and chronic management. That means a communicable as well as non-communicable diseases. So this is the health maintenance model of family medicine, which is elderly, adult, woman, and child health maintenance of all. Okay, so this is one data which shows that the registered MBBS physicians versus the specialties, and this was submitted in PMDC in Jan 2009. So we can see that there is a very small orange, which denotes the specialist of the country. The rest, yellow, which is a big chunk, is just the registered MBBS. So that's the area where we can target, and that's the area where where a trained family physician is required, because just these MBBS have to be trained enough to provide an effective primary care to the communities. So we have, as we mentioned, we have this College of Family Medicine in Pakistan, which was established in 1972. Then we have undergraduate programs at AKU, which was established in 1986. And since then, we have started undergraduate training in other hospitals, including DMC. So, and then we have CPSP, which offers two programs, which is MCPS and FCPS. MCPS, which was recognized in 1988, and FCPS, which is a fellowship program, which was recognized in 1992. And we have these AKU, which is one of the institutes which trains and which has an organized training program in Pakistan, which trains FCPS in family medicine. Apart from that, we have another one which is doing his Liaquat. Liaquat has also started his FCPS training in family medicine. Okay, so this was all the pictures which were taken previously, since you all cannot visit family medicine centers at this point in time because of COVID-19. So these were all, I had just displayed these pictures because we have two centers, one in Hijrat Colony and the other in Chanesar Goat. So these are all based in communities. As we mentioned, that the family physician should be the one first contact for the patients. So they are community based. So the pictures below are from community centers at Chanesar Goat. So that's the entrance, and that's the clinic 1 and clinic 2. We have two clinics. We have an observation, we have an assessment room, and we have a free of cost pharmacy available for the population, which is in the vicinity, and which is free of cost pharmacy and free of cost lab services. So these are all available in these centers, both the centers at Chanesar and at Hijrat. So previously we used to have students visiting dividedly. They used to visit in both the centers at Chanesar. Half of them used to go to Chanesar and half of them used to go to Hijrat. And get their teaching done over there. So this is the picture at the top is an outside area of Hijrat Colony. And then we have the similar center. We have 3 clinics over there, and then same pharmacy and labs and all. This is another picture, this is a community health center at AQ, where family medicine and family physicians are trained. So these are the AQ clinics and a community health center at AQ. Sina is another center where family physicians go and practice. So the possible suggestions to overcome these challenges regarding family medicine is that one should have a nested family physician practice. There should be a 4-year education, one community-based trained family physician over 3,000 population, and developing a telehealth and having a trained nurses and a doctor-nurse partnership and a community health worker. So that's one family physician, or that's one family health practice in each community to help empower family medicine also. And at the same time, reaching out, the patient should have first contact with community physicians and a trained one at the same time. Structured training for all, which should be required for all. Not all GPs should be allowed to sit and practice. There should be a training, there should be a certain training which should be given to all GPs to give quality and effective primary care services to the patients. We need to have visionary leaders, and at the same time have an efficient and strong background in research to do better and better in our future. So family physicians are responsible for leadership and improving health system. They must help develop a more balanced health system, bridge the gap between science and practice, and putting the whole patient back together again is very important, because just identifying a disease and managing a disease is not the solution to all the problems. When we see patients, there are a lot of other areas to which where attention is required. So that is very important. Thank you.